Every morning, the corridors of the Interstellar Unity Academy echoed with confidence, armored footsteps, clicking mandibles, heavy tails scraping polished floors. And every morning, Sarai of the Luminari tried to disappear before those sounds reached her. She folded her wings tight against her back, translucent membranes shimmering faintly with nervous light. The Luminari were born for the skies of their homeworld, floating cities, warm thermals, endless blue horizons. Here, inside a steel station orbiting a dead moon, wings were nothing but weaknesses. Careful, a deep voice rumbled behind her. Too late. A heavy shoulder slammed into her back. Sarai stumbled forward, her wing catching on a protruding railing. Pain detonated through her nervous lattice, sharp and blinding. She cried out as something tore, membrane fibers snapping like wet silk. Laughter followed. Raxel of the Dravik stood over her, thick-scaled and towering, his tusked grin wide with satisfaction. His companions fanned out beside him, blocking the corridor. A spined Arthroid. A heavy-boned Stonekin. Predators, all of them. Fragile again, Raxel said. Amazing your species survived long enough to reach space. Sarai bit down on her pain and tried to stand. Her wings spasmed, refusing to respond. She felt warm fluid drip down her side. Apologize, Raxel continued casually. You brushed past me. I didn't, her voice broke. Raxel's tail lashed out, striking her injured wing again. White-hot agony flooded her senses, and she collapsed. Around them, students slowed, then looked away. No one intervened. No one ever did. The Luminari were artists. Philosophers. Healers. They joined the galactic community offering beauty and wisdom, not force. And in a galaxy that respected strength above all else, that made them pray. Sarai dragged herself upright and fled, tears blurring her vision. She missed first cycle lectures again. Medical regeneration would fix the damage, eventually. But each injury took longer to heal. Each morning left scars a little deeper. She sat in the back of the xenobiology hall, wings trembling despite her efforts to still them. Professor Threx spoke of death world species, worlds so violent that survival itself was a weapon. Earth, the professor intoned, projecting images of storms, predators, fire, and war. Class 12 Death World. Dominant species, humans. A murmur rippled through the room. They possess no natural armor. No venom. No claws. Yet they endured. They adapted. They remember injury. And they respond to injustice, decisively. Sarai barely listened. She didn't notice the human girl in the doorway watching her broken wing with a narrowing gaze. Sarai waited until the corridors cleared before leaving class. She always did. It never helped. Raxel was leaning against the archway, arms crossed, tail swaying lazily. His friend stood behind him, already smiling. Running again, he asked. That's rude. She tried to slip past. His clawed hand closed around her injured wing. Pain exploded. The world narrowed to fire and noise as he twisted. She screamed as a deep, sickening crack echoed through the hall. Her wing folded at an impossible angle. That, Raxel said pleasantly, is what happens when you forget your place. Then suddenly, his grip loosened. Not because he chose to. Because his arm was no longer obeying him. A human girl stood behind him, one hand locked around his wrist, the other braced against his shoulder. She wasn't tall. She wasn't armored. She wore academy standard clothing and flat boots. Brown hair pulled back. Calm eyes. Raxel roared and tried to pull away. He went face first into the floor instead. The impact shook the corridor. Students froze. The human shifted her weight, twisting with controlled precision. Bones creaked, Dravik bones, reinforced for combat. Raxel screamed again. Let go, he gasped. Not yet, the human replied calmly. I'm assessing damage. She looked at Sarai's wing, then back to Raxel. Her voice stayed even, almost gentle. Your species has redundant shoulder joints. Dislocating one won't cripple you. Breaking two might. Pressure increased. Raxel howled. You hurt her every morning, the human continued. You target her because you think no one will stop you. She leaned closer. Humans evolved as pursuit predators. We don't chase fast prey. We chase prey that thinks it got away. Raxel released Sarai immediately. The human eased the pressure, just enough. She didn't let go. If you touch her again, she said quietly, I will not stop at restraint. She released him. Raxel scrambled backward, terror replacing arrogance. His companions fled without a word. The human turned to Sarai instantly, expression changing like a switch flipping. Concern replaced cold focus. Hey. Easy. I've got you. She supported Sarai's broken wing with surprising gentleness. I'm Mira Chen, she said. You're hurt. Let's get medical. Sarai stared at her through tears. Why? She whispered. Mira blinked, confused. Because you needed help. As they walked, students parted instinctively. Word traveled fast. The human had chosen a side. Medical regeneration repaired Sarai's wing slowly, carefully. Luminary nerves were delicate. The pain faded, but the memory didn't. Mira sat by the door the entire time. She pretended to read a datapad, but Sarai noticed everything, how Mira positioned herself between the door and the bed, how her eyes tracked movement, how she rose instantly when footsteps approached. Always guarding. 2 more humans arrived before treatment finished. A tall man with a scarred eyebrow. A woman with braided hair and a sharp grin. They carried food containers. We heard, the man said simply. Mira nodded. She's ours now. Sarai didn't understand the words, but she felt the weight of them. From that day on, everything changed. Raxel avoided her. His friends vanished when humans appeared. Other predators found reasons to walk elsewhere. The academy noticed, but no one interfered. Humans hadn't broken rules. They'd enforced consequences. Mira explained it over meals. Humans are pack animals, she said. We protect our own. Once someone's in, they're in. But I'm not human, Sarai said. Mira smiled. Doesn't matter. They taught her things. How to plant her feet. How to use her lighter frame for leverage. How her legs, dense with flight muscle, could shatter ribs if used correctly. Wings make you graceful, Mira said. But you don't survive by flying away every time. Weeks passed. Sarai grew stronger. More confident. She still bore scars. But now, she walked the corridors upright, wings held high. Students watched her differently. Not because she was dangerous. Because she was protected by something worse. The academy adjusted quietly. Bullying incidents dropped. Predators reconsidered their behavior. Humans were no longer avoided, they were observed. Faculty reports noted something unusual. Humans didn't dominate. They didn't threaten without cause. They didn't escalate. But once injustice crossed a certain threshold, humans responded with absolute clarity. No rage. No mercy. Only precision. Sarai stood on a balcony weeks later, thermals humming beneath her wings as she practiced controlled lifts. Mira leaned on the railing beside her. You're flying again, Mira said. Sarai smiled. Because I stopped being afraid. Mira nodded. That's how it starts. Across the academy, stories spread. About the species from a world that tried to kill them every day, and failed. A species that turned survival into loyalty. A species that didn't seek power, but refused to ignore suffering. An elder counselor summarized it best in a private report. Humans are not dangerous because they are violent. They are dangerous because they choose when not to be. Sarai lifted into the air, wings catching the light. And for the first time since leaving home, she felt safe. Because somewhere nearby, a human was watching. And the galaxy had learned. Breaking wings was easy. Breaking a human's sense of justice was impossible.